My name is RUP Dog.
Cause I be damned if I do, damned if I don't. Some think I can't, others think I won't, but I don't trick no
I'm from Oakland, California. I moved to Sac in the 9th grade, you know what I'm saying? So, Oakland born, Sac raised, you know. I played that whole highway, so, you know, like I said, it's in me, you know what I'm saying? And I carried it with me, brung it with me. Found my nest here, you know what I'm saying, and developed a bond between those that I love there and those that I love here, you know, so. This is home, too.
Word, yep, alright. So you were born and raised in Oakland.
Right.
And, okay, what was it like growing up out there, man, from the time that you lived out there?
I mean, like I tell people, you know, when stories are told, you know, it's always very meaningful to pay attention to those who tell the stories that actually come from the time that certain situations you're talking about may have actually been inoculated into that particular game. And I'm from that era, you know. It was, like I said, it's always been a hustler, a pimp, a hoe, some drugs, something going on, you know. One way of the system, you know what I'm saying, developing some type of situation where, you know, the less privileged is trying to find some scheme and hustle to catch up with those a little more fortunate. But with me, I come from the crack era. You know what I'm saying? Like cocaine was there before me, but I come from that crack era. And what was supposedly to be a curse, and what we all know, you know, with black people, we survivalists, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, the harder you make it for us, you know, we gonna find a way to take something out of that and develop it to where we counter your intention and now we're productive. You know what I'm saying? So it was a backlash and, you know, dropping all that cocaine in these rural neighborhoods or whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, you got some cats over there that don't know themselves. They got Fortunate 5 mentalities. And once you put a certain product in their hand that they are able to find out that they can market and buy at one price and upsell at another, you know, you have a businessman. And that's the era that I come from, where, you know, something that was pressed upon us to kind of put us in a fucked up predicament, you know, it was a double-edged sword because it also had its people, you know, such a lot of people in my family and generations that surrounded me. You know, we learned how to thrive off of that, you know what I'm saying? We took our 2 and turned it into 10, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the story is always to be told even now today about somebody having to hustle their way through something. But when you talk about that particular era that we all have heard about, you know, the crack era, that I come from that, you know what I'm saying? You know, like I said, my mama had 12 sisters. Shout out to the 3 that's left, including my mom, my auntie Tony, and my auntie Marcia, you know what I'm saying? But all of them at one point or another either sold or used drugs. So, I mean, it wasn't very hard for me to develop an understanding of how to get in position or whatever, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately for me and my brothers, you know what I'm saying, it's like that front row seat of having family members even, you know what I'm saying, succumb to the shit. It gave us that shield that that's not something we was gonna do, you know. So, you know, we ain't really have to go through the situations where society inflicts so much oppression on us that we turn to some drugs and shit. I smoked the hell out of some weed 24 hours a day, but, you know, when I died, throw the rest of the shit I had in my pocket in my casket. You know, that's just me, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't never had no other addictions and shit. You feel me?
A lot of that going on out there.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of loved ones, a lot of great friends. You know, some kick and some still to this day, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, God bless their soul, you know what I'm saying? I can't say I know firsthand what it is to be in that situation, but I've witnessed it so much. I've watched it, you know, tear so many different, or turn so many different brains into a different, you know, so I can tell you what the shit do. You know, I didn't have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what brought you out here to SAC, man? And what year was it?
Like I said, I'm a class of 90, so that will, you know, take us a few years back. And 1986, 87. You feel me? Them years, you know what I'm saying? And
Around 86, 87,
yeah,
you came out here?
yeah, like I said, I mean, like I told you, it was really spontaneous. You know, like my mom at that particular time had the fucking city of Berkeley sold up. We had moved at that point from Oakland into Berkeley. And like I said, my mom had that home that she was building on and developing or whatever, whatnot. And our reputation in that particular neighborhood, like we got a lot of the family from over there, cousins and shit. Shout out my cousin Lamont Brown, my cousin Twan, the Graysons. Yeah, we got a lot of family around there. And even if it ain't our real family, we grew up from Sandbox. So, you know, them type of relationships. So yeah, it was a thing where it was very spontaneous. We came home one day and we had to move the next. We really didn't have a choice in the matter as children.
Yeah. Okay. So you're like in the 9th or 10th grade, you said?
Yeah, well, it was the second semester of the 9th grade because it was crazy. I went to the first semester of 9th grade at Berkeley High, and then that happened. But, you know, after being up here like 2 or 3 weeks, I'll never forget, you know, like I said, you know, my mom being in the game, having the money, you know, me and my brothers was always some Nike kids or whatever the fuck we wanted. And we come up here, you know, auntie, you know, was like, you know, it was fucked up because, you know, we having big money. The whole time we on welfare. I don't even want to say it was some part of the scheme, my mom, but I mean, you know, they didn't want it to seem like we was no different from somebody else, so shit. We frequented goddamn cheese lines and everything else like everybody else did. But we had some shit going on. And the funny part about it is, you know, once we like I said, yeah, once we got out of Berkeley, when that shit happened, I didn't like Sacramento at first. I mean, because my popularity was just automatically stripped from me, you know what I'm saying? I'm fucking 9th grade, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man, I was little nigga Drake, man. I was starting to be the nigga out there, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we finna take me to Kennedy, too. At this time, you know, fucking Green Haven was still like, don't get caught over here, nigga, after dark, you know what I'm saying? It's rural white neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? So, and my cousins, my auntie, my mom's sister, she my mom's oldest sister, but she's still alive too. She's hanging in there, you know. They say any day, but she say I'm still here. So shout out to my auntie Pat. But her and her husband, my uncle Ronnie, rest in peace. They was in in Meadowview, and at that time Meadowview was still kind of suburbia. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, look. It had the spots, you know what I'm saying? What they call the gardens back then, you know, but there was a lot of nice shit going on around then when I used to visit down here then and coming on, you know. People leave, they goddamn doors open all night. You walking down the street, walk home, you can look at TV through the front yard. Every goddamn tree in the house on the yard had pomegranates and grapes and lemons and shit, and the frogs was making noise all night, you know what I'm saying? And people don't pay attention to that shit, but as soon as you move a bunch of rural ghetto shit in there, your fucking mosquitoes go home early, you know what I'm saying? Frogs ain't making no motherfucking noise, they went home early, you know what I'm saying? Dragonflies don't stay out late no more. Fucking tree don't bear no goddamn fruit. You know what I'm saying? So gentrification is stronger than motherfuckers could even think, you know what I'm saying? That shit strong. Coming here in Sacramento, I was witnessing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, like I said, stripped from some of the shit that I was immediately doing out there, now I'm kind of like, I got a lot of shit to pay attention to, where I'm going to fit in at, woo. And I'm like, but my story was being manipulated around the whole city a few times over. You had a lot of people coming down here at that time from the Bay Area, more so the Bay Area than anything, but you also had some people making the track way down from LA. And they were bringing the influences of LA, gangbanging being number one, but they also was bringing a sack, and the price of what they sack was for, which was beaten. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but we always had the great weed. So when they get here, they got what we want, but we also got what they want. You know what I'm saying? So relationships were developing, but culture was molding. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I'm watching this neighborhood that I'm being told be so careful in. It's KKK and this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But I'm watching this shit develop into the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, my peers and, you know, the first set of Meadowview dudes that we ran the street with, we start seeing the necessity to grasp onto a certain part of it. And, you know, like anytime you're young, we finna call this our own and shit. We know now we didn't own this shit, but, you know, this is us. You feel me? And so everybody started getting in position as this shit was developing, because you could see it coming. You know what I'm saying?
And you were saying Meadowview was the gardens back then?
Yeah, man. Like I said, you know, and so to be so super factual, like, you know, a lot of people be asking me, shit, I wasn't the first gangbanger in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? No, far from it. But in fact, my younger brother, my brother Nugent, tell you a story. One time I had seen a couple incidents. I was in high school here now at this time, but I had seen a couple incidents go down between different gangs, you know. And I'm hearing the slang that go along with it, whatever, whatnot. So I'm coming home because I didn't, you know, you gotta remember, my brother, when I was in that 9th grade year, my brother came here to junior high. The bullshit developed in the junior high a lot faster, you know what I'm saying? So he coming home every day, talking about some gang shit, woo, you know. In the 9th grade, I'm still trying to get on the football team, you know, with Kennedy, you know what I'm saying? But not knowing that it was an anarchy thing there, you know what I'm saying? The coach's son is the quarterback, and his little brother's gonna be the next quarterback. They're gonna have 2 black players, the wide receiver and the running back. You feel me? I ain't no dummy either though. So you know, when I seen that too, you developing and taking this course, shit. By this time, I was real good at shooting dice and selling weed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And getting at a bitch, getting at one of these young girls. You know, so I had put them 3 things together and start prospering. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like any other team, once you move, you know, get a little sauce in you like that, you know, fuck some of this other shit. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? And so I really didn't know initially. Like, my little brother knew about the gang banging. But when I started hearing it, I started coming out and questioning, man, what's this and what's that? And, you know, they telling me. And I be already been seeing the shit go down, the fight. But now I could piece together who was who and who was calling who what for what reason, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so I caught up with that shit, you know what I'm saying? Now, you had asked me earlier, one of your questions, how did I specifically come about and where did I fit in with 6900? And, well, prior to moving up to Sacramento, one of the most notorious known, you know, accumulations of black people and brothers hustling in the street, known to Northern California, was 6ix9ine Village in Oakland. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, right? What? Come on, man. I done gave you all this credit, man, for doing your homework. Yeah, but 6ix9ine Village, back in the 80s, 90s. I'm talking about when LL, Kumo D, and all them was come doing the concert back in the day. These boys come through 100 deep, mob coats and fat donkey rope chains and Kangos and Adidas with shell toes, and you seen them moving. You seen them moving when they like, you know, back up. And them niggas moving. Remember New Edition concert they did at Berkeley, you know, around that time, I was 9th or 10th grade. They came through so deep, you know what I'm saying, they parked the crowd, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, like, and they all had on white, Snow White, like Snow Patrol in the movie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they came through like that back in the days, but it's historical. Me and my cousins and them still talk about it to this day, you know what I'm saying? But they had an acronym, SNV, 6-9 Village.